Hi, everyone. Sandra here. I wanted to share a little bit of my story and a little bit more about this program in a video so that you can get a feel from me. And I know some of you maybe haven't ever attended anything that I have put on. So this is an opportunity for you to get to know me a little bit. And if you've been following me for a while, you've likely learned little bits and pieces of my story, but I'd really like to take this opportunity to share a little more. So, a big part of my story is how it ties back to my history with the diagnosis of depression and the toxic shame that I struggled with for most of my life. In fact, I really truly believed that I was worthless, that I was kind of a waste of space, that I was defective, deficient, that I wasn't important, and that I was unworthy of really asking for or speaking up for what I needed, or of being, held and heard and validated and loved through my emotional experiences, which were big. And that's a big part of, what's led me through all of this is the fact that I am a very deeply sensitive, empathic person. And this has been seen as a flaw in my life for many, many, many years. I was really, through that time, a shell of who you see here today. I kept myself small and I kept myself quiet in order to keep others happy and to really try to avoid disappointing anyone or being put down, like being, sort of shamed, not sort of shamed, absolutely shamed for who I was and for how I felt. I became what I have called a master chameleon. So I really feel like I could mold and shift myself into what I thought other people wanted me to be, to the sort of self-perceived expectations of others, so that I could feel like I was accepted, so that I could really, try to find that feeling of belonging that I was searching for, that I didn't find until later in my adult years. During all that time as well, I drank a lot of alcohol and I used a lot of drugs. And, in reflection of that time, I used those substances to really try to hide the deep pain and the sadness that was weighing on my heart, but also to drop that fear and that shame that allowed me to come out of that shell so that I could be, I could be in relationship with people and not feel so terrified. And but it was obviously a very toxic coping mechanism. Um, During all that time too, I chose relationships, both friendships and intimate relationships that were abusive, and they amplified my fear, they amplified my shame, they made me smaller, quieter, more, walled off in my life. And I was really on this steep downward spiral and had given up all sense of hope that I would ever be able to, be normal in this life, and then I would have to live my life. I had really surrendered to this, not in a good way surrender, but just like a given up surrender. I had given up that I was just going to have to live my whole life hiding my pain, hiding who I was, hiding my emotions in this really blunted existence that was the result of taking all of those pharmaceutical antidepressants over 20 plus years, until one day. So here I was in this place of really giving up and kind of letting go and saying I guess this is just how I'm supposed to live my life. I'll never be able to be normal. I'll never be able to exist in this life, as a healthy, happy person. And I'd given up and I'd sort of sunk into this pit of hopelessness. And then someone came into my life and it opened up this space of possibility. I am here today, both physically and otherwise, because that day my life shifted, and it didn't shift dramatically. It just changed by one slight degree. And it opened up a whole new world and it sparked this hope inside of me. And since then, it's been snowballing into where I am today. And that spark of hope that happened, that opened up, and all the days that have followed has really allowed me to explore new ways of thinking, of rewiring these core beliefs that I held about who I was and the shame that I was holding. It allowed me to be able to feel these really deep suppressed feelings that I had. It allowed me to get to know myself and my core values and what's important to me in this life, and really to relearn. And I say relearn because it is a relearning, because when we're born, when we're little kids, we all of this is intact. We love ourselves, all parts of ourselves. We think we're amazing. And then life happens and the shame and the fear come in, and it just, it imprisons us. And so along this journey, since that one day with that spark of hope that just shifted my life that little tiny bit, it opened up this whole new path that has allowed me to relearn to love myself and to really understand and appreciate and value the interconnection of my body and my mind and my emotions and my energy and my spirit, and my soul, and so much more. It's really allowed me to journey vulnerably through the depths of the despair that I was experiencing and still can experience, to the place where I'm at today, where I can truly and honestly say that I love myself, that I accept myself, and I embrace all the parts that come through, whether they're good, bad, dark, light, or somewhere in between. I am willing to look at and get to know and understand and accept and embrace all of my parts, because I know I'm worthy. I deeply know that I'm worthy and that there's nothing wrong with me, and that I'm worthy to speak up for what I need and to stand up for what's right for me and to prioritize the things that are important to me. Things like having balance in my life, having space to be by myself, and also space to connect with like-minded and soulful people. Also to prioritize ease and fun and joy and laughter and those things in my life. And I know that you're watching this video and you want to create more of that in your life. And so I've been really, over these years, compiling and gathering and pulling together all of these different resources and teachings and learnings and all of this that I have decided to launch into a full program for people to come and experience. And so starting on March 30th at the Lighthouse in Prince George, I invite you to come and join me for this powerful, I know it's going to be just like fireworks for every woman that comes in the door, for this 12-week journey that I have called Come Alive in 2025. And so this journey together, these 12 weeks, we're going to be moving through a somatic exploration. Somatic means the body. So we're not going to just be talking about things. We're not just going to be looking at the cognitive pathways and the belief wiring, but we're going to look at that too. But we can't look at that without climbing into our body and reconnecting to our body and reconnecting to the truth of who we are. And this somatic exploration is really for women who are craving, just absolutely craving an escape from what I refer to as this prison of toxic shame and unworthiness, and who maybe are overwhelmed with and feeling uncertain about how to navigate this escape. Like, how do I get past all of these beliefs? How do I really find my way back to myself? How do I make these changes in my life to reflect who I am and what's important? And that sometimes can be really overwhelming as we look at all of the different aspects of our life, and we might see really clearly that certain parts of our life were created from a place of shame and a place of fear, and that are not aligned for us. And so it requires us to make some really tangible changes in our life. And that is also a part of this 12-week journey, is to be able to support each other as we step by step take action in our lives, to create alignment for ourselves. The lighthouse is a small space, which I love because it allows us to have a really intimate experience there. And so the space is limited to 12 women who are really feeling ready to dig in, to really have this honest look at themselves, and who are ready to make a commitment to this journey, who are willing to show up and to explore the depths of themselves, who are willing to tap into that courage that I know we all hold, and that power that I know we all hold, to be vulnerable. Because in order for us to really look at our shame and our fear and to move past these things, and finally put those shame beliefs that say we're not good enough or we're unworthy or undeserving, to finally put those beliefs to bed and to shift into beliefs that are going to serve us and help us to move forward into possibility, there has to be vulnerability. And vulnerability is, for most of us, that have some element of shame trauma, vulnerability is terrifying. And vulnerability is like putting yourself out there for everyone to see. And we literally have been hiding that. So the absolute essence of what I'm creating here is a safe space for you to come and be vulnerable, so that we can together navigate and kind of tunnel our way through and escape this inner prison that shame has kept us trapped in. So this program is really also about taking radical responsibility and accountability for your life. This is for stepping out of victimhood, that this belief that life is happening to me and that we don't have power in our lives, and shifting into this open and expanded growth perspective in our life that says that I hold the power. I get to choose what my life looks like. And you begin to see all of life's situations, including the difficult ones, which is the hard part, but it does include the difficult ones and the challenges. We begin to see them all as opportunities for us to learn and to grow and to heal on this journey. It's, as I said, about having courage to look within and to be awakened to our truth and really honest with ourselves, to have that really honest, brave look at who we are right now and the choices that we've made and the life that we're living, and be able to have those honest conversations with ourselves and with each other about where things don't feel right for us. And this program is also about having this really a willingness to go within and to look at and to be with some of these difficult parts, these, shadowy, wounded aspects of ourselves that are painful at times to look at and scary to look at. And it requires us to have a willingness, because we're tired of being where we're at. We don't want to be stuck in this space anymore. We don't want to be just, having this inner chaos. We want to find ease and peace. And it requires us to look at all the parts and to really rise and own it all, and moving into this space of acceptance and self-compassion. And as I said, this group, this will be a group experience with a maximum of 12 women in the group, plus myself. And the key piece here of this healing experience, as well as all the different, practices and tools and all the things that we're going to do in the group, there's going to be, I can't even list them all out because there's so many. And I'm also going to be sort of like pick and choosing which ones I'm going to bring to the sessions, also based on the group and what evolves in the conversations with the group, and what kind of the needs are of the core group that comes together. But at the heart of it, I know that what is going to be some of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, medicine that we experience in the group is this capacity to be in sisterhood vulnerably and authentically, and to be able to finally drop the armor, to drop our guard, to take off these masks of needing to please other people or say the right thing or be perfect in some way. And we get to just be real and raw. And to have these kind of vulnerable connections is something that is really, it's almost hard to explain, because I don't think we know we need it until we experience it. And then we're like, I don't know how I lived without that, because we live in a really disconnected world. We're very isolated and siloed in our lives. And many of us don't really have safe spaces where we can be authentically ourselves, because we feel like we have to hide elements of ourselves. We feel like we have to push things down, suppress it. We feel like, we have to manage everybody else's feelings and everyone else's lives. And we're terrified of disappointing people, and we don't want to let anybody down, and we don't want to hurt anybody with our needs. And so then we just push it down. And many of us don't really have a space to allow that suppressed energy and experience inside of us to be free. And so I know that this is something that I absolutely will bring to every single woman that joins in this group, because I have seen the power of it in my own healing, and I've seen the power of it in all the groups that I have led, that when we are able to really drop into who we are and express that in a safe space, it changes everything. And it's so amazing, and it's so healing for our hearts. This is not a quick fix. I think you probably get that by this point. I'm not a surface dweller. So if you're looking for a quick fix, or a Band-Aid solution, this isn't the program for you. But if you want to really get to the root of where you feel stuck in your life, and you want to really shift in a way that's going to create long-lasting, sustainable freedom in your life, and you want to create that sense of ease and safety in your body and your mind, and you want to really remember the truth of who you are and what's important to you, and finally settle into this grounded knowing of your worth, and put those shame stories and behavior patterns to rest, so that you can just fully step into your power. And in that power, you can have boundaries, and you can be confident and strong, and you can relearn to love yourself for who you are, and all of the absolutely beautiful, incredible, and unique gifts that you are here to give this world. Then I tell you, this is the program for you. So, as I said, it's called Come Alive 2025. We're going to be coming together at the Lighthouse for 12 sessions over the course of 12 weeks. Every single session, we are going to move our bodies, we are going to breathe, we are going to feel, we are going to share, reflect, and we're going to remember. We're going to explore so many different tools that I've learned through my trauma healing training and my own experience. We're going to dig into aroma freedom, which is a really powerful somatic exploration of our core beliefs and our emotions and our body using essential oils. We're going to move through some Kundalini yoga, breath work of all kinds. We're going to do some sound healing. We're also going to step into sacred chanting, and so much more, so much more. And as I said, there's only space for 12 women. 6 of those spots are already being snatched up by women who came to the workshop on Sunday. So we're already halfway full. So if this feels like a yes for you, and this feels really strongly like this is something you're ready for, then I encourage you not to delay, to just click through the buttons, register, reach out to me if you need some support with like a payment plan, or you want to split things up, or you want to talk about things, or you want to ask questions. Please, I'm here. I'm always here. My door is wide open, and I'm very happy to answer any questions and to help you, sift through to see if this is the right experience for you. I've worked with, over these years, hundreds of women over these last years, to really go within and sift through what I affectionately call the muck, to find themselves. And I know the power of what can transform for us when we come together to share in this process. And so what I see right now for you as you're watching this video and we're coming to the end, is that you're at a point of a crossroads, right? And so one direction is to say, this all sounds great, but I'm just going to, continue to go about this journey kind of where I'm at. And, I'll take what you give. I might come to some of the classes that I do, or, maybe you're exploring things with someone else. maybe you just want to kind of take it at your own pace and journey on your own. And this is a totally valid option, and one that I actually took in the beginning. And mostly I took that because I didn't know the value of community. And but it is a valid option to take nonetheless. And the other direction that you can take is to say yes to this experience, to be open and curious, and to say yes to yourself, and to have that courage and that willingness and that honesty, and just dive in. So if this feels like a full-bodied yes for you right now, I encourage you to grab one of these spots for yourself, and not delay and wait and then miss the opportunity. So again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here, and I'm sending you so much love as we, journey through this life. And I look forward to and hope that I get to support you along it as you go. Okay. Have a beautiful day.